After the games, we've had loads of interest. We've had loads of people turning up for open days. All the clubs around the country of sitting volleyball have all been inundated with people, and that's just for sitting volleyball. So Paralympic disability sport, to have all these people flooding into it is really special for us. And they're not necessarily just disabled people. It's able-bodied people who've seen it on the telly and thought, God, that looks amazing, I want to give it a go. So really, really good for us in terms of making sitting volleyball mainstream. And then volleyball as a whole has just gone nuts. I think the Facebook page has gone from having 1,000 people following it to 13,000 or something like that. So it's been a huge explosion of this minor sport that no one had really heard of. I grew up with sport. I was pretty lucky. My dad was a professional cricketer. My two uncles played cricket for England, and my sister was in the British dressage team. So I've always kind of had a bit of pressure to do sport. And I'd never played Paralympic sport until 2005, and I was kind of when London got told they were hosting the games, and they said, well, mates of mine were why don't you do that? And I always just wanted to fit in with my friends, and so I tried out a load of sports, and volleyball was one that was a pretty good time. It was just kind of starting out and establishing itself. So that was 2005, and I'm the only one. We had this talent day where everyone turned up, and I was the only one left from there. I think the next newest person in the team started in 2009 or something like that. So it was just me and a load of people who weren't very good for a while. Yeah. I became captain 2010. Yeah. So that was cool. It was what I wanted. I think I'd have thrown a right strop if I hadn't have got it. So yeah, no, and kind of done it ever since. I've got something like 75 caps for Great Britain now, and over 50 of those are as captain. So yeah, so I kind of do after dinner speaking and stuff, which is a bit different to this. So kind of doing that, and that's quite good. You have to be kind of jokey and stuff like that because everyone's quite drunk and they actually just want to get to the bar afterwards. So you keep it short and sweet. But stuff like this is great. We do a lot of stuff in schools as well. So going and coaching kids how to play, and they love it. Especially when you take your leg off and put it at the side of the court, they're like, what is that? But yeah, no, we're really cool. It's a nice thing coaching kids actually, to go into schools and show them what it's all about, and they love it because they're all so into it. So. We try because a lot of the schools we go to and do these things, they might have someone at that school, and the odds are someone is disabled at that school, and it might not be the same as mine, but a disability. And what we try and teach the kids is it's not a disability sport, it's just a sport that anybody can play. So I will sit there and take my leg off. A boy who's in his wheelchair might get out of his wheelchair and sit on his bum because that's how you play the sport. And then all his classmates do the same thing, and everyone's equal. And I think in terms of changing perceptions and all that stuff, that's really important. That's a really good way to do it. But we've got the European Championships in September in Poland, so everything goes towards that. We have to kind of go and do well there to get some good funding. So that's our focus at the moment. Yeah, I want to be there in Rio. You know what they did? After we finished in London, they sent us to all the athletes. They sent pictures of what the athletes' village is going to look like in Rio. And it's on Copacabana, on the beach, and it's got its own private beach in the village. And I'm like, right, East London was great and everything, but that looks amazing. So we're kind of, we're desperate to be there. And it'll be an amazing achievement because we kind of got to London by being the host team, and now we have to go and qualify. So it'll be really hard, but it'll be amazing, yeah. Yeah, born in London, and it was amazing. We had 8,000 people for every match, and they were literally turning people. They had to shut the gates an hour before our matches because there were just people trying to get in. So it's pretty cool, and it's weird. You kind of get used to it, and I see all these footballers swanning around. You think, what's that? They look so cool, but actually, you just get used to it, and you just kind of. I remember the first 10 points of our first match, I was absolutely bricking it, and I was just you're like, oh my god, you can hear all the noise, and then after that a switch gets flicked or something and you don't hear any of the crowd. It's just a background thing going on. So yeah, it was really special in London, and we did the athletes parade afterwards as well, and that was because we've been living in this bubble in the village, and you don't really know what's going on in the outside world. And then we came out and there was 1 million people lining the streets. We're like, crikey, people are quite into this. So it was good, yeah. we like because when we're in the village, you're kind of locked in the village. They don't let you out. They've got a big fence to keep you in, not keep people out, I think. But we kind of had a really good time, like because in this village it is like a mini city really, and it's got the food hall and it's got like hairdressers on site. There's a post office. There's a gym. There's everything. So we're kind of training or playing matches every day, and then we go and get a bit of rest. We went into, it's right next to Westfield if you've been there, which is like this massive shopping centre. We went in there one day because we had a rest day, got absolutely mobbed for autographs. Like took us like to get 30 metres took an hour, so we were like hang on, so we had to kind of retreat back in. Like once in a lifetime stuff, isn't it? So we had the best time, yeah, really good.
Actually don't remember pain. I think we forget pain really quickly. The things I remember like noises. So I remember the crowd in the corner as it happened. I remember like a sharp intake of breath, and so I remember the noise of the crowd, and then I got really bad cramp. So other than that, that's all I can kind of remember. I don't remember actually feeling that much pain. I felt uncomfortable because I could feel my teeth kind of over in the middle of my mouth, and there was obviously a lot of blood. So those are the only things I can remember, not really pain, to be honest. That night, all I remember thinking was I wanted them to do something like straight away, and it was really horrible because they said, well, we have to wait for the surgeon, he's not in till tomorrow morning, and I was like, oh, that's probably not going to happen. And my doctor went to have a look at the scans, and he came back and he said, you're not going to play again. So that I kind of was like, okay. So that whole night, I had the whole night to just basically sit upright in bed and basically just think, cry, and just think, okay, well, that's it. Kind of come to terms with it. And then the surgeon came in, he did the operation. I came out of the operation, and he was like, I think you might be all right to play. And I was like, shut up. And I didn't really want to believe it. And then I kind of thought, okay, maybe I can. But I felt so rough. I think I lost like 3 kilograms, 4 kilograms, because I couldn't eat. And obviously we played a game, so I'd kind of I lose 2 kilograms from a game anyway. So then I couldn't eat, and then I just felt really weak. And then so I went from thinking, I can do this, to actually, I don't know if I can. And then my sister flew over from Holland. She lives in Amsterdam, and she was like, you will do this. So she gave me a really good boost, and then I felt much better about myself. And then I thought, right, I can do this now. So I think it's like home games, and my sister showed me, I'd taken Twitter off my phone and stuff like that, and I hadn't read any press or anything, and my sister was shoving newspapers in my face and Twitter, and I was like, right, okay, it kind of made me feel better. Everyone behind me, and the girls played amazing when I was in hospital, and that was really nice to watch them on the TV and stuff like that. So that, I think, gave me the energy to do it. I think after the semi-final, the complete devastation of losing that, I think to go home then with something, you feel so proud. And it's really funny, on that final day you see the silver medalists, you think, well, they've got, it's better than a bronze medal, but they're all really upset because obviously they've lost that last game, whereas we've got 3rd place, but we're all ecstatic. So I think it was a good finish for us in the end. So our central programme, our full-time programme starts up again in April, so I'm looking forward to that. And we've got the World League, Investec World League in June, so in Chiswick, so we need to get loads of people down there. And we need to create the London atmosphere again, that's what we want. Hopefully the sun will come out. And then we've got the European Championships in August, so we've got quite a busy summer, and it's quite important to the World League's World Championship qualification, so we need to do well there, so it'll be a really good summer. So it's really heavy. The nice thing is that it's engraved, so there's only 16 of these. And I kind of forget about it. I put it on my bedside table, and then when I come to things like this and I get it out and I think, oh, that's really lovely. So I'm very proud.